If you're an Amazon seller wanting to get your fulfillment fees lower, your warehousing and distribution fees, then keep watching this video because Evan Swanson and I are going to be explaining and diving into Amazon's new program called the Amazon Warehousing and Distribution Program. It's AWD for short. So if you're wanting to learn more about AWD and how you can leverage it and use it, then keep watching this video. Let's go ahead and jump into it, starting with me introducing you to Evan, who is an Amazon seller and actually works in the Amazon logistics department. What's up, Evan?
Hey, what's up, Ian? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Thanks for jumping on this video with me, man. So let me just start off with the first question, like what is AWD?
Yeah, so AWD is an upstream partner for Amazon that's their own version of a third-party warehouse.
How I understand AWD is basically like, let's say you're shipping from China. So it goes from China to AWD, which is going to hold majority of your inventory. And then as your FBA inventory, lowers down, it just automatically replenishes from AWD over to FBA. Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, it's basically another destination where you can ship goods, they'll store it, it's lower storage fees, and then they'll replenish it to their fulfillment centers as needed.
And the alternative to this would just be some other 3PL or warehousing or your house or whatever, office space or commercial space that you have. I mean, is that pretty much the alternative to using AWD?
Yeah, either you're going to have to use another third-party warehouse, or some people will try to ship directly from China and cut out the warehouse, but that becomes really tricky to stay in stock, especially because it's a 90-day lead time, usually from China to the US, and a lot could change in 90 days in terms of demand and your forecast.
And so Amazon's whole reason for doing this is to, I would imagine, help the sellers with lowering their FBA fees and maybe also managing their inventory in their FBA warehouses a little bit more effectively. Maybe they want to have lower inventories in their FBA centers and then have, another revenue stream, of course. But I mean, what would you say is Amazon's reason for rolling out this program?
Yeah, I think one, they want to take market share from the 3PL market. Obviously, that's an opportunity for them to make money, but logistically and operationally, they were just getting flooded with too much inventory, too much for them to handle, especially on the West Coast, because that's where everyone ships stuff. So LAX, ONT8, all these common warehouses were getting everything and getting flooded. And so having another place to store goods also benefits Amazon in terms of processing.
Gotcha. Okay. So how does it work with the auto replenishment as far as like when Amazon determines when to take inventory from AWD and put it over into their FBA network? Is it something that Amazon determines and the sellers don't have to worry about it at all? Or do the sellers need to like input some kind of inventory number where they're like, hey, once my units get down to 200 in stock, then go ahead and fulfill or replenish it from AWD?
Yeah, so Amazon determines all that by themselves. I don't know how their algorithm works, but it's been working pretty well. Besides at the start, when I launched a new product this past month, it was sending way too little in. So I had to manually create a shipment, which I'm allowed to do, like, hey, send 500 units from AWD to an FC. But other than if I want to create a manual shipment to kind of boost inventory into the fulfillment center, Amazon determines when they're going to pull inventory. And it's been pretty accurate besides that one time.
Gotcha. Okay. So you are using AWD?
Yeah, I use AWD.
What kind of cost savings have you personally seen? I mean, has it been dramatic?
It's been huge for me because AWD has three main fees, and one of those is a per carton processing fee. So that means if I can fit a lot of units in one carton, then I'm going to save money. And if I send something directly to an FC with the inbound placement fees now, they're going to charge me for every unit in that carton. So I think, yeah, AWD especially makes sense if you can fit a lot of stuff in a carton.
Gotcha. Okay. And yeah, I got the AWD website pulled up here. So their processing fee is $2.50 per box. And then, so that's the base rate, but there's an integrated rate, I guess, Amazon transportation via AGL or PCP, and that is a $2.13 per box. So like, what's the difference there between a base rate and integrated rate?
Yeah, so the integrated rates are if you use Amazon Global Logistics or a partnered carrier when you send your goods to AWD. And what some people don't realize about that integrated rate is you don't need to use AGL or a partnered carrier for everything. Even if you just use them once in the past 4 months, they'll still give you those integrated rates at AWD, which is huge because like if you look at, I have it on my screen here, the storage fee of integrated rate is 36 cents per cubic foot. But at a normal FC, I think it's 78 cents around there. So it's like over 50% difference.
Yeah, and for the viewers, so the base rate for AWD is 48 cents per cubic foot per month that you're going to pay for storage. And then the integrated rate, again, if you use AGL or PCP, the Amazon Transportation, network, then you're going to be paying 36 cents per cubic foot per month.
Yeah. Yep. So it's a pretty good deal, especially when it comes to be peak time and they jack rates even up more. Then like the cost savings is even more drastic. So that's something to keep in mind.
So you have your processing fee, and that's when inventory comes into AWD, and they're going to process it at around $2.50 to $2.13, somewhere in that range, $2 per box, basically. Then you have your storage fee, which is it just sitting there. Then you have your transportation to FBA, their actual FBA warehouses and network and all that stuff. So that cost is $1 per cubic foot for the base rate, and then 85 cents per cubic foot for the integrated rate.
Yeah. And it's really nice that they give you a flat rate for transportation from their AWD warehouse to an Amazon FC, because when I use third-party warehouses, I never knew what my total cost would be. I could estimate it, but I didn't know for sure what it would be. And so running things through AWD makes it even easier to forecast, like, hey, what's the total cost of this 3PL, even including the transportation legs from the warehouse to another warehouse.
Gotcha. Okay, so AWD is going to save you money on your long-term storage. It sounds like it's going to reduce your headache as far as replenishing to your FBA inventory. And then, so overall, it seems pretty legit. Would you say there's any downsides that you may see to using AWD?
Well, I think one downside I've heard of people complaining is that there's no accountability for if they lose inventory. So, if you ship into an FC, you can see a discrepancy and you can submit a case. I haven't heard that people haven't had good luck with submitting cases to AWD to track, hey, how much of my inventory were you supposed to get to what you did get? And am I going to get reimbursed for anything that you lost? So yeah, that is a possible downside. I haven't ran into that yet, though.
And as far as other channels, so let's say you sell on Shopify, right? I guess typically when you're selling on Shopify, you're going to ship out from your FBA inventory. So, but you mentioned earlier that like AWD works with Shopify, websites and stuff. So is it just them sending it to FBA, which is then sending out through Shopify, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a good question, because like on the policy, they have fulfillment fees for, outside of the Amazon network, but they already have a fee for fulfilling inventory through FBA. So I don't know at what point Amazon says, no, we're no longer fulfilling this through FBA, we're fulfilling this through AWD. I would assume that would be when you run out of stock on your FBA listing, and you fulfill it through AWD, that's when they'll charge you that fee.
Yeah, to me, AWD seems like it's going to send out bulk orders, multiple units at once to FBA, and then FBA parses that out and sends out like 1 or 2 units at a time, right? So it doesn't seem like AWD would handle fulfillment from your Shopify store. Does that seem right?
Yeah, I don't think they would do that.
And then as far as like the storage options, some of these products need to be stored at certain temperatures. They can't, is it pretty much like the same as FBA inventory where it's like, it's not going to exceed 100 degrees and it won't get colder than 50 degrees or something like that?
Yeah, AWD, they have constraints on what type of inventory you can send. So it can't be oversized items. It can't be hazmat items. I don't think it can be perishable items either. So you can't send food there, things that need temperature control. So yeah, it's pretty limiting to the type of inventory you can store there right now.
Do you know what they would determine as oversized versus undersized? Like what is that border that they would say, hey, you can't send this in?
I don't know the exact measurement in inches, but if you look up in the policy, like what is oversized, just on Amazon Seller Central, it follows the normal FBA guidelines for standard size versus oversized.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks, man, for answering some questions, giving us some insights on AWD. Anything about AWD that you just want to leave us with, that you feel like people need to know?
Yeah, I think like the 2 biggest things are, if you have a lot of units that you can fit in a master carton, test the numbers through AWD. It could be cheaper. And then the second thing is that it's really nice not to worry about having to create manual shipments from a old version 3PL to Amazon and having to worry about how much that's going to cost. That saves so much mental time and space. So those 2 things, like if that sounds like would be a good fit for you, yeah, at least try it, because it's been good for me so far. And especially for saving on the inbound, the new inbound fees.
Evan, if people want to get in touch with you, if they have any questions about, AWD or anything that you can help them with, I mean, where can they reach you at?
Yeah, the easiest place to find me is on Twitter. My handle is at Evan Swanson FBA. So yeah, that's the easiest place to find me.
Okay, sweet. Well, thanks, man, for jumping on this video. For you guys watching, if you don't know who I am, my name is Ian Smith with Evolved Media, and we help Amazon sellers with getting listing content created. So all that photo and video content that you see on listings, that's what we create. We do photo shoots, we do video shoots, create brand story sections, A+ content, storefronts. So if you need help getting that content created for your products, then go to emaamz.com. We also have a free listing checklist and an organic ranking roadmap guide. If you want to get access to that, you can go to amzchecklist.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.